What's going on, YouTube? This is BoxingWave back with another video. All right, so I just did a video discussing Wilder and what he should do next as far as his future. Should there be a trilogy? Should there be, who should he face if he doesn't fight Fury next? I gave up some names, so I did all of that. Check that video out if you haven't already. Also, check out all of the videos that I posted throughout the weekend. We had a great time this weekend, and I have some good videos out there. Commentary, live commentary, everything, pre-fight, post-fight. So those are all up. If you want to look at my most recent videos, they're all up. All right. All right. So let's talk about Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte as well. Okay. Now, Tyson Fury, if he is to fight Wilder again, which I believe is going to happen, I believe it's going to happen. I believe that regardless of what we all feel, I don't want to see a trilogy. I don't want to see a third fight. I think I, I just don't need another fight. I don't believe that Wilder can beat Fury. I think Fury won both fights, and I don't need to see it again. Okay. At this point, it's clear to me that Fury is just way better, and even with the right hand, Wilder cannot beat Tyson Fury. Okay, especially with the way that Fury is going to come in again on the third fight. Fury is going to do the same strategy. He's going to come in bigger. He's already more skillful than Deontay Wilder. He already felt Wilder's power twice. In the second fight, Wilder's power didn't even matter because Fury was that big. He ate the right hands like it didn't matter. He walked right through them, and he rolled the punches well too. Okay, so I think at this point it's pretty clear that Fury is the better fighter between the two. But I do believe that Wilder is not going to want. I think it's a lot about pride, and I think it's a lot about money. At the end of the day, Wilder is not going to just walk away from all of this and not fight Fury again. He didn't want the fight to stop, even though I thought it was a good stoppage. Whether there was a towel or thrown or not, it was a good stoppage. He just was out of it in there. After the third round, he was done. Okay, he was hurt by that big right hand that dropped him. He was bleeding from his ear. He was bleeding from his mouth. I don't know if he has a broken jaw or not, but at the end of the day, it was a good stoppage. But I do believe there's going to be a third fight. Business wise, it's going to be a third fight because even if they don't sell as much with the pay per view, even if people are not as interested as they were in the second fight, they're still going to want to make the money. They're still going to want to make the money. They're not going to make that kind of money in any other fight. Okay? Even if they did pay per view, even if it's Andy Ruiz, it doesn't matter. They're not going to make any other fight. They're not going to make any, not even close to the amount of money that they made with this fight right here. They're not. All right, so that's the reason why I think there will be a trilogy because of the clauses that were agreed upon before this rematch. This is a two-fight deal, and I've said this before this fight that I've always had an issue with it because we don't even know what the outcome will be if 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 they are to fight each other in the second fight. We don't know what the outcome. We might feel that it shouldn't be a third fight, but business wise, it makes sense. That's Heyman and Team Wilder protecting him if he does lose the fight. And the same with Tyson Fury. I'm sure if they didn't agree upon a second and third fight, uh, there would have been no fight. There would have been no agreement. Okay. So anyway, let's talk about Tyson Fury and fighting Anthony Joshua. Okay. Um, Eddie Hearn seems ready to go to make that fight happen. All right. Fury has said out of his own mouth that he's going to fight Joshua at some point. He didn't really have interest in fighting Usyk, but he said that he will fight Anthony Joshua. All right. He seems to be on a ball with trying to become undisputed. Okay. I said yesterday in my video that I did yesterday during brunch hours that Fury has officially not only became the lineal champion by beating Vladimir Klitschko, but he's actually held all four of the major titles, including the IBO title, at some point. He hasn't become undisputed because he didn't hold them all at the same time. But he's actually officially held the WBC, the WBO, the IBF, the WBA straps, and the IBO. All right. And he has the Ring magazine title as well. Okay, so he's actually held all titles. He's just not undisputed, and this is why, even though he didn't fight AJ, he is number one to me in my eyes. He beat Klitschko first, and he beat Deontay Wilder first. Okay, so in my eyes, yeah, nah, he didn't always fight the best guys in between his tough fights, but he beat the most significant people to me outside of Anthony Joshua. All right, Joshua, way more consistent. I even went on BoxRec today. I was pretty actually surprised to see AJ is still number one, the number one heavyweight. And I know this is not official ranking. This is BoxRec's ranking based on points. It's like an algorithm. But Joshua is still ahead of Fury. Fury is number two. Wilder actually has been moved all the way down to five. I think even Andy Ruiz is ahead of him. And I'm pretty sure it's because of the quality of opponents that Joshua consistently faced. He didn't fight the one or two actual best fighters uh, outside of Klitschko, even though Klitschko was on a long break and coming off of a loss. But he consistently fought good fighters. Joseph Parker, undefeated. Brazil, undefeated. Vekin, fresher than what he is now. Um, he consistently fought good fighters. All right. So what neither Wilder and Fury has done that. But at this point, at this stage, Fury has fought the two very, two of the best people out there. All right. So anyway, Fury and Joshua. If the fight were to go down, I know in the past I've always said that I think Joshua could beat him. I always thought that Fury could beat Wilder, even though I didn't pick Fury for this fight. I always thought Fury was a better match for Wilder than AJ because of his skill set. AJ is very good. I thought skill wise he's better than Deontay Wilder, but defensively he's not good as Tyson Fury, and I always felt that Wilder was kind of like a dangerous opponent for him because of the right hand. I just wasn't sure if Joshua could actually avoid the right hand. But at the same time, Joshua has a right hand and a left hand, and he's just more well rounded. Uh, both dangerous for each other. But I always thought that Joshua was better. I wasn't surprised when I heard that Joshua got the best of Fury in their sparring sessions. All right, and I don't base everything on that. I don't have a history of basing everything based on sparring sessions that we don't see. But right now, I see Fury still beating Joshua. You know, the thing is, I don't know what version of Fury we're gonna get. Are we gonna get the heavy Fury that we just saw against Deontay Wilder, or are we gonna get the Fury that we saw fight Vladimir Klitschko, the slicker, defensive-minded Fury? The hand speed Fury. All right, the one that's not just coming straight forward, the one that's trying to avoid getting hit. Which version of that are we gonna get against Joshua? Because I figured that Joshua, because of his success in the Ruiz rematch, we've seen Joshua walk down fighters, you know, look bigger and walk down fighters. We've seen him walk down Dillian Whyte. All right. We've seen him walk down Klitschko in the fifth round after boxing with him with a few rounds and not winning and being down on points. We've seen him turn it, change it up, and walk down and use his size over fighters. Um, I expect Joshua to stay slim like he is now, only because his stamina. His stamina is the key thing. You know, I don't think he's putting as much power into his punches, but he's quicker. All right, he's lighter on his feet, and he can fight a 12-round fight with the pressure coming at him. All right, the difference is Fury is different. And if Fury chooses to come in heavy, which I think he should, I don't think he should come in light like he fought against Vlad. I think Joshua would be better than Fury if Fury were to cut back down in weight and try to fight an outside fight. I think Fury should stay with the size that he is because first of all, if he's already 6'9", you're already you're a naturally bigger, heavier guy than both Joshua and Wilder. So stick to that plan because you're still skillful. Defensively, you probably won't be better. I don't think defensively he was better in this fight. But what I think would happen is, unlike Andy Ruiz, who wasn't prepared and was too heavy, I just think that Fury would come in and lean on him as well. I know Joshua has been more mobile, and I think Joshua would do a lot better than Deontay Wilder was doing. Okay, moving around and fighting on his back foot and using his jab. So yeah, it would be a tougher fight for Fury. And of course, Joshua does still have power, but Fury would have power as well. Okay, Fury is definitely more skillful than Joshua overall, in my opinion. Still, I don't know if he hits as hard, but I think right now we can make a you know you can make a good argument that he may just be as powerful right now at his true size. You know, there's a lot of unknowns there. Uh, But I do believe Joshua would have a better chance against Fury than Wilder. I think Wilder was just all wrong for Fury that night. All wrong. Even though with the extra weight that he put on, it was just too slow. And he didn't know how to deal with the extra weight being put on him, the pressure, being forced to fight backwards. Joshua, on the other hand, Joshua will probably be better off putting pressure on Wilder and coming forward. You know, fighting him in the way that he fought Dillian Whyte. There's a big chance he might get rocked. Because Dillian Whyte did rock him in that fight, but I don't know. But I right now, as of right now, and I don't think the fight is gonna happen right now. I think the fight is gonna happen next year, because the Fury has obligations. He has Dillian Whyte with the WBC mandatory, and he has this rematch clause. This trilogy clause with Deontay Wilder. I mean, they signed on this before the fight. This is a 2-fight deal. And even though Wilder got dominated, at the end of the day, Wilder has his pride, and business is business. You know, I don't want to see a third fight. I don't want to see it at all. I don't want to see a third fight. I never wanted to see a third fight, an immediate third fight, regardless of the outcome. I did not want to see a third fight. I like guys when guys break it up a little bit, but I think we're gonna get that third fight. As far as Dillian Whyte though, first of all, Dillian Whyte has to definitely come in at his best. He has to look like the Whyte that we seen in his most recent wins, not the one against Marius Walk. All right, because I know he was coming off being a depressed and all the stuff that was going behind the UCAD and everything. He was overweight in that fight. He looked terrible. But we need the Whyte that fought Oscar Rivas. We need a Whyte that fought Lucas Brown. Joseph Parker. All those fights. We need that Whyte at the very very least. Whyte is a puncher. He throws. Has a high volume, long arms. Not as tall, but he has very very long arms. I don't know. I've never, to be honest with you, I never really thought that Dillian Whyte could beat Tyson Fury. You know, I've always just thought Tyson Fury would beat him. Uh, I don't know what type of Tyson Fury we'll get, but even the Vladimir Klitschko version of Tyson Fury could beat Dillian Whyte at any point. Even post surgery. When his left hook, he started using his left hook again. I just never thought that Dillian Whyte could beat Tyson Fury. I just never thought that. And after seeing him right now, I don't think so neither. I just think Tyson is too good. I think he's just too skilled. I know Dillian's definitely dangerous, and he's there to fight, and he would do better than Wilder as well. He's there for a fight. I don't know if Fury would knock him out or anything, but I think Fury will appoint him. But you know, like Dillian Whyte is definitely better against Fury that night, the other night. He would definitely be a good fit for that kind of fight because Dillian's a big dude. You know, he can fight on his back foot. He comes forward. He can do whatever. He can mix it up. He's just not as talented as Tyson Fury. So I would give the nod to Tyson Fury right now. I think Tyson Fury is the best in the world right now. I think he's proven it. Uh, there's several people I think that would do well against Fury, but actually beat him, I just don't see it right now. I don't see it right now. All right, so I don't know what's gonna happen with Fury. Obviously, Wilder is the most likely opponent next, but if it's not Wilder, I don't know how he would move around and avoid Joshua overall. As far as like, I mean, avoid. I'm not avoid Joshua, but avoid Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte really is really deserving of that WBC strap. And as much as I want to see an undisputed champ, you know, Eddie Hearn would have to pay a huge step aside rate in order to get White to, you know, not take that fight right now. You know, because at the end of the day, fair is fair. And I thought it was unfair all these years for Dillian Whyte not to have his title shot. But just because Fury won and got the belt back, as much as I want to see that unification with Joshua, Dillian Whyte still deserves his shot, to be fair. All right. So I wanna go see what happened, wait and see, and you know more news is gonna be coming in the upcoming days, I'm sure. Uh, but I think right now, I think Fury beats both Joshua and White. But I think both of those fighters have a better chance than Wilder does right now. All right, just because they have more to offer in the ring. You know, they're not better knockout artists, but they're more well-rounded than Deontay Wilder overall. All right. All right. So that's my video, man. See you guys on the next one. Peace.